Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Force Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get rolling. We'll start off by saying, with the strike behind them, Ahsoka cast members have been sharing behind-the-scenes photos and little reels and stuff all over Instagram and X and all that good
X,
stuff.
Twitter.
I know, I don't like
So
calling
weird
it X.
still.
It's
I don't know
weird.
that it'll ever not be Twitter.
Oh, it will. Because soon it won't be cool to be calling it Twitter. They'll be aging you.
Oh, I guess. I don't know.
Keep calling it Twitter, you're going to be the old folk who doesn't know what's called
the
X
boomer
now.
or whatever
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway,
So first up, we had Natasha Louis Bordizzo, who played Sabine. She didn't really have a chance to spotlight any in the promotional campaign, as a lot of them didn't really have any chance for that. She did write up on Instagram how, as you probably know, the strike lifted, and all I want to say for these many weeks is thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love on Ahsoka. Thank you for coming along with us on such an epic journey. Sabine taught me so much, especially about receiving mentorship, love, and guidance, even when you least deserve it. The show was made by a huge team of genuinely good, kind people who are obsessed with Star Wars and even the other incredible experiences that came along with it. That part stood out to me. And then, of course, I'm probably reeling through some behind-the-scenes photos, because, yay. A lot of them did also pay tribute to the great Ray Stevenson, as well as Shauna. For those of you who don't know, Shauna was the name of the costume designer. She died mere days after the end of Ahsoka on Disney+. We also got some fun from Iman Esfandi, who, of course, played Jabba.
jeez. It's going to be some really confused people who didn't watch Rebels and are like, what? I thought he was Ezra. What?
He was.
Yes.
What's fun-
Ezra, who claims to be Jabba many times in Rebels.
It's sad. He didn't really... His involvement was kept under wraps for so long that he didn't get to do any promotional stuff whatsoever. He wasn't, announced at Celebration like Sabine and Hera were. So it's sad. But, like the true Ezra, he posted on his... He's, really the embodiment of Ezra, in my opinion, now. He posted on Instagram, "The rumors are true. I am Ezra Bridger." Then, of course, thank you for everyone who worked on Ahsoka for welcoming me to open arms to your beautiful Star Wars family. Growing up, I wished for friends who loved what I love, anime, cartoons, etc., and little did I know it would be all of you. It was an honor to work with people who pour their hearts and souls into this franchise and keep the Force so alive. Made it easy to go all in and follow suit. Thank you at Dave Filoni and at Jon Favreau for trusting me to bring Jabba the Hutt himself back home. There are so many more moments that went undocumented, but I deeply lived and loved while being part of this project. To the fans, I'm home.
Yeah, I think he was probably the highlight of the series for me,
really
his
was.
portrayal of the character.
Mm-hmm. We got to see not just the image, but the video of Shin riding around on her toy speeder smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, that was a weird one, but sure.
Sure, whatever. We also got to see some behind-the-scenes shot with Ariana Greenblatt, who played the young Ahsoka Tano. She put up on her Instagram, "From my family to yours, thank you for all the love and support, comments and reactions, and just overwhelming love you have shown me and the cast and crew of 600 plus crew members and artisans who worked on Ahsoka Shadow Warrior. I'm deeply grateful to the Star Wars family." Signed, Snips.
Yeah, it had to suck, especially for someone who's young and wants to just, probably talk. I mean, they all want to talk about it, right? But gotta suck that you can't say anything publicly about it.
Right, we had beautiful words coming from, like I said, a lot of the actors and actresses had plenty to say, plenty to be thankful for, and paying homage to Shauna and Ray.
It's just a shame we couldn't have their insights while the show was going on.
Exactly. I mean, I can't imagine going into season 2 without him.
Oh, without Ray Stevenson?
Without Ray Stevenson, yeah.
And
the costume designing on the show was great. It was fantastic. I mean,
there are a lot of good things
Yeah.
about the series, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure it was the best written show I've ever seen. There was a lot to enjoy about it. And Ray Stevenson's performance, obviously, Iman Esfandi as Ezra, I thought was good. Even some of the other characters started to come into their own, or actors and such. So there were things that looked good. But there are certainly positive things about it. I just, being a pretty critical and Star Wars fan, I noticed things that could have been better.
Next, let's move on. I found an interesting story. Anthony Daniels parting with C-3PO memorabilia, selling costumes, props, and scripts on auction It was the BBC News I got this story from, go figure. The 77-year-old actor putting up scripts and everything, all this stuff for auction. The most notable item he put up for auction, which has already been sold, was an original helmet of C-3PO used on set for the original Star Wars. It fetched just under 700,000 pounds.
Which, for those of us on the other side of the pond, as they say, is about $850,000.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money for a goldenrod head.
What's interesting is I did look into that auction because it was interesting. You saw me watching some of it the other day.
You were watching it. I was like, oh god, she's not going to bid on something, is she?
I wanted to.
Not that we
there
could
were
afford
a lot of
like 99% of those items.
No, but there were so many really cool things.
There were a lot of
older movies, newer movies,
there was a
TV
long,
projects.
long list of things.
It was so cool. Yeah, but other items that he put up for auction, Anthony Daniels, of course, being scripts used for dubbing The Empire Strikes Back, pieces of the Millennium Falcon taken after filming Return of the Jedi, and other parts of C-3PO's costume.
It would have been better if it was taken during the filming of The Empire Strikes Back. They took the parts that the Empire got blamed for taking. Maybe it's all a conspiracy. 3PO did it all along.
When asked about parting with those props, he said he felt it was time for others to appreciate the items. His quote was, "I realize I had these items and they're not unloved, but they're unlooked at. We don't have them crowding the sitting room. I feel sad to part with them? No. I will enjoy the fact that people will cherish and display them."
I'd have them all over my house if I was C-3PO or any Star Wars character. That would be the first thing you see when you walk through my front door.
I'm sure
anything
he's
related
kept
to my
some
character.
pieces, of course, but
I'm sure he did, yes.
That's a lot to hold on to.
I already got Star Wars stuff everywhere. Why wouldn't I have my own Star Wars stuff out there?
He makes a good point, though. If he's just got a bunch packaged up into boxes, and maybe he does want to share them. I really don't think he's lacking for funds.
I'd be surprised if he's hurting for money. I mean,
he's still out there doing his,
he's very involved.
He's a busy guy.
A lot of conventions, a lot of things. So I'd be surprised if he was hurting for money. So it does seem to be a genuine, I want to get it out there into the hands of people who will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Disney and Hulu are going to be merged into one app starting even next month. The prototype of this is coming out. Because we know Disney, we talked about this, is going to become full owner of Hulu. They're going to spend like $8 billion to buy the last third of the stake Comcast still holds. And they're planning on making this a one-app experience because it is kind of funny if they own all of Hulu and you're a bundle subscriber and say you do bundle both. I mean, the ad-free bundle is like $20 and the ad experience bundle is like $10. And they're going to put it all into one app.
Okay.
Yes. To unify the experience, which I think would be a good idea. Because I would, if I'm looking for what I want to stream and I'm looking up, is this here or is this there? That bothers me.
Well, yeah, they don't want you like clicking out of Disney Plus to go look to Hulu and then another app catches your eye.
Yeah, or just another app seems to have what you were looking for, and now you're like, well, why am I paying for... Yeah. So the beta version of this is coming in December for subscribers of the two-service bundle. This will give parents time to set up parental controls, according to Bob Iger. Because, of course, we know while Disney Plus is more family-friendly fare, adult-oriented Hulu content, maybe you want to make sure you get those parental controls set.
How long does that take?
Well, some people don't jump on that right away,
Well, maybe you should if you care about your kids.
But it's coming, like I said, in December. It's officially going to be launching in the spring, around late March. But like I said, they're getting the beta out there to test it and all that good stuff. And honestly, putting both apps together will probably save them money in the long run.
I'm sure there's a financial reason for it,
There's
too.
Definitely
There's
always
a financial
reason. On to new this week in Star Wars, etc. We have a full-ish week. Starting tomorrow on Tuesday, The High Republic, The Eye of Darkness will be coming out. It is part of the Phase 3 incentive here, or campaign, I should say.
Yeah.
For the High Republic.
To read it, that's for sure.
It's going to take place 1 year after the tragic events of the Fallen Star. The Jedi fight to break the Nihil's control over the galaxy. The galaxy is divided following the destruction of Starlight Beacon. The Nihil established an impenetrable barrier called the Storm Wall around part of the Outer Rim, where Marchion Ro rules. And some of the Jedi are actually trapped behind the enemy lines there, including Avar Kriss. And she has to stop the worlds that are now being taken advantage of by the Nihil and stay ahead of the Nameless.
They made a barrier?
They did, the Storm Wall.
How do you make a barrier around the Outer Rim?
Part of the Outer Rim.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't make the rules.
No, nobody does, apparently.
Moving on, let's go into Wednesday for comics. We got a full roster going on here. Star Wars Visions #1, the Marvel Star Wars Vision, will be coming out. Now, this takes place, it says centuries after... Remember, this is not canon, so don't expect this to make sense in Star Wars. Centuries after...
It'll make sense, just not for the canon. Well, I hope, anyway.
Centuries after the death of a great dark Sith Lord, a cult has grown worshipping the Sith Lord in the dark side. Anuk believes she is the successor to the legacy of the Sith with her dark side powers. But is she truly in tune with the Force or just exploiting the people in her village? We'll find out.
I'm going to assume it's the latter.
We shall see.
Who knows, though?
We've also got Dark Droids #4.
Yippee!
Dr. Aphra #38. Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary #1. It's going to be, I believe, just a collection of comic book type covers highlighting amazing, events across the time.
Yeah, covers.
Yeah, covers. So it's not
a story.
Must buy. And we also have Mando Season 2 #6, the Boba Fett issue that you should not buy.
I love every time you bring these up. You're like, don't buy them.
If you're looking for additional content for The Mandalorian, this isn't offering anything new. If you want to collect it because you love comic books and you want them,
if you want to
go
read
ahead.
the episode instead of watch it, yeah, it's for you because there's nothing. There's nothing
new.
different.
And we're also going to be having a voice chat at 8 p.m. Central Time.
On Wednesday. Until we figure out if that's going to change or not.
Right. We
It used to
should
be
talk to the
Thursdays
voice chat
yeah,
when we're in voice chat this week. Hopefully they'll remember.
They'll remember.
And Friday, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters will be premiering on Apple TV.
Yay. Looking forward to that.
I was about to do it. Sorry.
No, don't.
I stopped myself.
No, don't.
Yeah, somebody was asking about the original Roar, and somebody in our Discord posted the video it was from, and they're like, oh my god, that really was loud. And since then, I usually in post try to soften them. But
she's talking about her Godzilla Roar for those who might be lost who don't watch Me Mondays,
I think it's pretty good.
It's good.
Been doing it for a long time. Would make my dad proud. It really would.
It really would. No, it would, absolutely.
He makes a different monster noise. He does. He doesn't do the Godzilla
awkward.
thing. I've always wanted to,
Yes.
But he used to always make this weird monstery noise. It was funny because at night sometimes if you were like, we had like the kids' toy room or whatever, the playroom where he put our video game system so we wouldn't take up the family TV.
Yeah.
At night sometimes if he'd come home late he'd stop outside that window and make that noise and rap on it.
Jeez. That doesn't surprise me either out of your dad.
Yeah. Good times.
Yes.
But that's all I got.
All right, well, in that case, that's all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. And let's talk some Star Wars. And so until next time, thanks for watching.